everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It's Gina. How are you all doing today? This is our response in regards to Friday's release of Home, Health, and Heart, and it's our first ever letter that was featured on the channel, and it was from a subscriber who named herself, sadly, confused and feeling abandoned by the only person in my world. Her letter was quite lengthy and very explanatory and very helpful to us to understand where she was. Now, of course, this is just for us to kind of kick around ideas or experiences that we've had in life and see if we can glean some good information in the process for maybe you all if you happen to be going through situations that are similar. Okay, so I'm quickly going to read a little bit of the gist of the letter, and we won't go through the whole thing because you can certainly go back and watch video number 1. This is in response to that and all of the comments that I've received from you all for this viewer. It says, you have often shared that if we have questions or need advice, you can call on the Gina for some help, or at least some discussion on the matter. Well, here goes. I am what I thought was a happily married wife of 25 years, but yesterday, during a very heated argument, which we rarely have, my husband shouted out, "I'm over it." And she went on to talk about several things that happened, and I in depth went over this letter in the last video. But situations that went in this argument and where quite a bit of truth came out and was revealed during this unfortunate episode, as far as Honey telling her that no one knows the amount of stress that he is. Absolutely no one knows. And that he was basically didn't have any care about their home, and just really brought a lot of uncertainty to her. And this video here is in response from you all and myself to our fellow viewer. Jen's Life and Home commented, I've been married for over 20 years. I think men sometimes just build up with pressure and they say things and then just move on, not realizing that you are probably replaying that moment and analyzing it over and over. That's the difference between men and women, isn't it? Men blurt out what they need to say and they move on like nothing ever happened. And women, go over it and over it and over and over in their mind. I think that maybe give it time. It kind of sounds like something else is causing him stress, like his job or some other situation. And I will pray for her and her husband. Thank you so much, Jen, for the prayers. It is a situation where I feel it could very easily have gotten out of hand, and I think that she showed wisdom not speaking at the moment, in the heat of the moment. That was wisdom, that was wise on her part, because she knows her husband well enough to know they've been married 25 years. And by the way, let me just say congratulations. 25 years is quite an accomplishment this day and age. It's not normal that people stay together for life anymore. We are the few and the far between. And so congratulations for your lifelong marriage. If you was to talk to him again, he, for one, might not even realize that he was that harsh in his words. And two, there probably is some type of underlying problem. There most certainly is some type of underlying problem. So thank you so much, Jen, for sharing. Daily Refining, her name is Amber. Hello, Amber, longtime subscriber and friend. She said that they've been married for 9.5 years, and at one point in our marriage, we had severe issues to the point of dancing around divorce. Now, I actually remember that. We talked several times during that time, and I actually was of an opinion that they could have very well decided to divorce. But luckily that did not happen. When there are random outbursts of anger, there is usually an underlying reason. Work, stress, general anxiety. Okay, everybody has that general depiction. There's something else going on. It's not just you. It's not just a quick little answer. There is something underlying. Feeling disrespected, possibly. Maybe you could try to set aside time to have a quiet moment. Just the two of you, maybe with a favorite drink, and just ask some questions about your marriage and see where his mind is. Maybe ask if anything is bothering him. If you are a believer, so we still don't know that answer. If you are a believer, marriage counseling is amazing. And as long as you get into it and by not hiding anything and laying it all on the table, if uh, those involved don't bring it all out, those issues will remain and will not be dealt with. They'll linger and continue to grow. Now, I do agree with that. Everything needs to be laid out on the table, especially if you have a mediator present. If you have a counselor, a mediator, someone who's giving you general advice, a pastor, a mentor, you need, and you're both of the same mind, that you both want counseling or some guidance, then you have to lay it all on the table. If you don't get it all out, you're wasting your time. Amber goes on to say, to give some good gleaning Bible information. Now, for sake of time, I'm going to just know that her channel name again is Daily Refining. You can go back and read her entire comment, but she gives us some good information where we can get some additional guidance from the Word itself. So thank you so much, Amber. Angel says, married 20 years, not legally, but we are best friends. Lived together for 12 years. Have stepkids together and consider ourselves married and call each other husband and wife. I don't need that piece of paper that legally married us. We have been through deaths, suicide, cancer, miscarriage, infidelity, and at the end of the day, we are still together. And that's her answer to the first question. Number 3, sometimes men are oblivious as to how much work is really done by women. At the end of the day, I feel this couple truly loves each other but need to communicate more. Michelle over at My Everyday Wife Life said 35 years of marriage. Her answer to the third question is, I've learned that an argument is rarely about the subject you are currently arguing about. That is so true, Michelle. There is usually some other underlying stress, tiredness, lack of sleep, not feeling well, etc. Usually, when we are arguing, it's something we wouldn't normally argue about if we weren't stressed, etc. And then later at the end, she said, also, to be frank, men are usually more stressed when they have had lack of sex. Make love to your man and all will be well. And then she put a big smiley face, which I do tend to agree with that. Michelle Zerber said that she was married for 10 years. I never remarried and have been alone for 20 years, perfectly happy. Her answer to number 3 is maybe try to get an unbiased opinion from someone totally outside the situation, like a counselor. Get some good marriage counseling if you can. That was not an option for us. I think it would have helped us. Okay, Suzanne at Suzanne's WW Life said she was married for 40 years, last 4 separated. Divorce final November 2020. Okay, so she is currently going through a divorce. Her answer to number 3, the question number 3, is there sounds like some communication has been broken down, and this may be his way of getting a response. Sadly, all he has achieved is confuse her and make her feel less of a wife. I do not know if there are children, but I sense he feels not heard. Okay? Suzanne is sharing with you and living through a farther along in a process that you don't want to get to, if I can say that, Suzanne, and I think that you understand what I mean. She's sharing with you, confused and abandoned, that he doesn't feel heard. Something in Suzanne's opinion is you're not hearing him about something. The thing as a wife, all we do is for the one we love. That's how I feel about the matter completely. And for him to call her a liar, or in her opinion called her a liar, I don't know if he verbatim plopped that out there or she just feels like that's what she heard. I can sympathize with her. I don't know that I can empathize with her. I don't know that Tom has ever said anything to that degree to me. But if I felt that he thought I was a liar, we would have huge problems. When it is not reciprocated or thrown back at us, it can leave us feeling unloved, unworthy, and rejected at our core. If he does not care about the home you share, I would ask why. Men tend to react, then move on. Oh, yes. We've established that. I think we're in a total agreement. That is how we view men's responses to things. Women dwell on what has been said, and sadly, we begin to add to the story in our mind until we cannot sleep. Oh, my lands, Suzanne. Have I been there? And that's not necessarily even in regards to a problem with me and Tom. I can do that with any situation at all. Ask the question, then you will have your answer. Right or wrong, blunt, to the point, someone living in an area of her life that I'm sure after 40 years you would not like to get to. And I know you're at 25 years. So here's some great information for you to glean. Ask the question, and then you will have your answer. Point blank. Okay. Here's what I want to say to that. I 100% that your mate should be below Christ, the number one person in your world. Now, I know I get flack for that all the time because people say, no, it should be your children. Well, that is not biblical, and that is not going to sustain a marriage for the next 50 years. That's going to sustain a marriage to get you through 18 years of the last child's life. Okay? You need to be friends, lovers, confidants, prayer partners. I can go on and on that you need to be with your spouse. Believers in unity. I mean, there's so many things that I could say about where you need to be with your spouse. Now, I will tell you, and I'm just going to say this right here. If the husband is not the head of the house, the spiritual head of the home, nothing is going to flow right. In your world, in your marriage, in your everything. If it's out of order in the biblical sense, you're going to live through trials and tribulations. You're going to live through them anyways, but you're adding them just because you have the order of authority out of play. Now, when I say that, do I think and am I saying that men should be overpowering and overruling and your boss and it's my way or the highway? No, I'm not saying that, because if he's following the example of Christ, then he's not that type of person and doesn't want that either. Okay, that was Honey. Even though I asked him not to call me because I was filming, I don't think he expected me to take this long. This is my second video I'm filming today, which is why you see goofy nails, the polish on one nail. I was reviewing a Christian Dior eyeshadow palette, Holiday 2020. Shameless plug to another video that I just got in the mail. And so I have it on. And so yeah, I've been filming all day. I don't know exactly where I was in my summarizing this video. So I am going to just continue with, if you have any further questions, please feel free to ask me again or to add to anything that we've added here. If you don't want to do it on YouTube, again, you feel free to email me and we can continue this conversation with a third video even, if you have something you would like to add. And I appreciate every single one of you who have been involved and that I got to feature your comments on the channel today. I realize that there will be more that have good ideas and great information that we could glean from that will still be commenting on the last video. And you can always go back there and read the comments and maybe even share some information, you know, amongst yourselves there. And I appreciate every single one of you. Again, if you want to possibly have one of your questions or situations featured on this segment in Matters of the Heart, you feel free to email me at seethegina@gmail.com, and that's SEE, the Gina@gmail.com. I would really appreciate it if you got involved. And it's a way for us to again get some wonderful information shared, and it doesn't have to be about your marriage or your kids or your job, or I mean, it could be about anything. It could be, an illness, or something that you just had questions about a YouTube situation. Anything that you want to ask me, you feel free, and if it's appropriate, then I'll be doing my best to share it. I love you all. I appreciate you. This has been really fun. I've had a great turnout. It seems to be a wonderful addition to Home Health and Heart. And as warranted, when they come up, we will add them. And I hope you all have a blessed Sunday. Catch you on the next one. Bye-bye. God bless. I'm excited because I get La Marnita, which is my favorite Mexican restaurant, which was why he called. He's on his way home and going and stopping by and picking it up. It's grilled chicken, green sauce, which is very low in points. The only thing I have to pay for is, oh crud, I forgot to get my cheese on the side. The cheese on the tortilla. Because they make it without oil, and it's wonderful, and I love it. I should have put the cheese on the side. All right, I will talk to you later. Bye-bye. God bless.